Will Shane Steichen be able to turn around the Indianapolis Colts is the big question for the team this offseason. They haven't had good quarterback play in what feels like forever, and it'll certainly be addressed one way or another. They're losing a couple big free agents. Paris Campbell finally looks like he's the player that they drafted. Yannick Ngakoue, Bobby Okereke, EJ Speed, and Rodney McLeod. Unsure if they're going to bring any of those back. Maybe Paris Campbell, but that's probably it. Team needs, look, quarterback is a big need. Wide receiver, they need some speed on the outside, maybe even an alpha. We don't really feel like Michael Pittman is that player, and he would really benefit from someone taking him off of the number one corner. The defensive ends and slash edge needed dressing. They lost Ngakoue, as just mentioned, and they probably will add in the draft. They might be able to lure a free agent. And they also need cornerback depth beyond Kenny Moore and Stephon Gilmore. A couple targets to keep in mind. Gardner Minshew could be a guy that they bring in to bridge, as he played for Shane Steichen last year, and whatever rookie they go with is probably going to need time to develop, unless it's CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. That being said, Minshew would even be a high-end backup. Nate Herbig, again, another former Eagle. He was on the Jets last year, but he's a guard that can play all over. And Draymond Jones, a defensive tackle who can flex out to end if you want him to. They have pick 4. They've been linked to Will Levis, which would be disastrous. Shane Steichen did mention he wants a mobile quarterback, or the importance of having a mobile quarterback. Obviously, if you watch Jalen Hurts, you know that that offense was very good this year and one of the best in football. So that kind of leads us to believe maybe they're looking at Anthony Richardson. A trade for Lamar Jackson also could be a possibility, but that would take an awful lot, and that could set the team back. Potentially, they wouldn't be able to amass talent around him if they did that. And then if they do want to go quarterback for whatever reason, maybe they address it in another way. Christian Gonzalez, the corner, seems like a good fit. They need some youth in that room, and he could be developed as Kenny Moore and Stephon Gilmore continue to be the starters. Real quick, if you're enjoying this content, please give us a subscribe and like and leave a comment. We love talking football, and we hope you enjoy listening to us talk football, and we hope to see you back on our channel. Thanks. A couple of keys for the Colts to win the offseason, or at least improve. You got to cut your losses. Matt Ryan should not be on the team. It was a disaster. Wentz was probably better than him, which is kind of wild to say at this point, but he's just can't move. He can't get out of the way. Do not pick Will Levis. That will be an awful decision. Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, all guys that would be better picks. Even a second or a third rounder in this class would probably work out better than Levis. We just are not high on him. We think if he's picked in the top 15, it's going to go bad. And Shane Steichen's going to want to get it right. So, if you think Ellinger can give you a little bit while you develop a quarterback, or you want to wait until next year, which it should be a better class, do that. Do whatever you think is best, but do not draft Will Levis. That's going to set the team back. And as mentioned, figure out a wide receiver 1 situation. Pittman had a good year, but he just struggles with drops when you need him to not drop the ball. His athleticism is iffy, and at best, he's Keenan Allen, but at worst, he would do so much better if he could get off of the cornerback 1. And if you can't get an elite wide receiver, look for some speed. Mecole Hardman, someone that can take the top off the defense, that you have to keep the safeties honest. Lastly, do not rush this. This Colts are in a weird situation where they're a decent roster, but they're also not Super Bowl ready yet. And look, if it takes 2 more years to get the team ready, that's fine. You got to let Shane Steichen have time. And if you're patient, then they could be in a great position in a year or 2. But whether Jim Irsay has that ability is unknown. We hope he's a little more hands-off than it seems like he was with Frank Reich. And if that's the case, then the Colts will be just fine.